That was Mazurka number 10 from Bimborion's Opus 138 by Alexander Tikhonov Grechaninov. This is the B1 piece of the ABRSM Grade 3 Flute Exam pieces from 2022. Taking a look at the start of the piece, we are in 3/4 time, so we have 3 quadrants in a bar. We have 2 sharps in the key signature, and there are no permanent accidentals in the piece, so we are in D major. Now in the middle of the piece there are a couple of bars, but we also get a G sharp, which transitions us to the A major temporarily. Now with the accidentals and keys in this piece, we have the F sharp, so on the left hand thumb, first finger, second finger and third finger, and fourth finger and pinky on the right hand. And then we have the C sharp, which is just the pinky on the right hand. And also the G sharp as well, which is everything on your left hand and just the pinky on your right. Now for the D major, you are required to note 2 octaves for grade 3. We have written here that the speed is moderato at crotchets equals 96 beats per minute. So this is the kind of speed we're aiming for when we get to the exam. Now also written down below, it says the printed dynamics are the composers. Players may add extra dynamics at their discretion. Now a couple of general suggestions here, just we refer to any piece. If you have a question and answer phrase where you have 2 phrases which are very similar, one may be higher than the other, you can play the second phrase, the answer phrase, in a quieter dynamic. You can also do a crescendo and decrescendo following the music as well. So if the music is going up, then you can do a crescendo, and if the music is going down, you can do a decrescendo. This piece is in a loose ABA form. We have the first A section from the start until bar 8. And then from the upbeat to bar 9 to past the first note in bar 20, we are in the B section. And then from there we have a transition from there to bar 22 in A major, and I'm mostly just using the G sharp and the A. And then that leads us straight into the A section again. When we get to bar 25, we're ignoring the first repeat sign, going straight into bar 26 until bar 30. Now the ending is also quite different to the first time we hear it as well. And then following on from there, we finally have the ending phrase from bar 30. The A section is built upon 2 ideas. The first being the crochet upbeat leading up to a dotted crochet rhythm, and then 3 quavers, such as what we have in bar 1. And then in bar 2 we have the second idea, which is the grace note following a dotted quaver rhythm, following by a crochet. This was in bar 2. Now the first rhythm is fairly straightforward. If we are counting in quadrants, we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And with the flute. Now the second idea is harder and is quite a lot faster with a lot more notes. You have an acciatura and then a dotted quaver, followed by a semiquaver and then a crochet. So what this sounds like in clapping in real time is 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. So let's try again, 1 and 2 and 3 and. Slowing down a little bit, let's go into maybe like a crochet equals 70 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. So let's have a demo of it in slow speed without the acciatura for now. And in full speed. Now once you're used to playing without the acciatura and you're familiar with the rhythm and the speed, then you can add in that grace note. Essentially what we're doing here is shortening the dotted quaver note so we can fit in the grace note at the front. So here is a demo. And with the metronome. Now once you get those two ideas, then you're essentially set for the A section. Just a general, again on the dynamics, for the phrases that are repeated I will play them quieter, so in bar 3 and 4 I will play them quieter compared to bar 1 and 2. Bar 7 will be quieter than bar 6, and also I will put in a slight decrescendo on bar 8 as well. We have a slightly different feel for how the section B is going to sound. The basic components that make up the rhythm in section A is still being used, just that we're being changed around and it's being mixed together. The first melody goes kind of up and down, starting low, going high and then coming back down again. This is from bar 9 to bar 16. Now the rhythm is being mixed here, so we have the dotted crochet rhythm followed on directly by the dotted quaver rhythm, for example in bar 9 and bar 10. So here is the rhythm, bar 9, bar 10, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. So quite quick, so make sure you get that right. Then we have the second melody, starting midway from bar 16, starting off higher and then going very low and then leveling off in the middle. Couple things to note here is the transition between the two phrases, which is in bar 16. The rhythm can be quite tricky because you have two quavers and then followed on by the dotted quaver rhythm. What also doesn't help is that the two quavers, where we split the phrase, you're having a new tonguing and also they're the same note. So from bar 15, and then in bar 18 we have quite a big jump from a high A down to the low E. So it's quite beneficial for you to roll the flute towards you so you can get that low E note out. Then we have a bridge going back to the first section, which is mostly just G sharps and A's. We see a row written here in bar 22, so we are slowing down until we get to the A section in bar 23, where we see a tempo, so we're going back to the original speed. We're also skipping the bars where it's got the 1 bracket, so we are going straight from bar 25 into bar 26B. After we finish playing the final A section, we come on to the ending section from bar 30. Now this is rhythmically quite simple. What we need to look out for here is the phrasing and the tonguing, as we do have a slur that ends on the second beat and starting a new one on the am beat of that beat. Then after that we have the final phrase, which is 2 very similar melodies to each other, but you do need to look out for the differences. The first one has a dotted quaver rhythm and the last one is just straight quavers. There's also a round at the very end, and you can also do a decrescendo here, as well as playing softer than the first phrase, and it is kind of a question and answer phrase we have in the last melody. Now we are playing the last couple of notes with the piano, so let them know beforehand how much you're going to slow down for this one. And that's the end of the piece. Well, that was the tutorial of the B1 piece Mazurka by Alexander Tikhonov Grechaninov. This piece has some tricky rhythm as it changes between dotted crotchets, dotted quavers and straight quavers, as well as the piano often being off the beat, so on beats 2 and 3 instead of playing on the beat, which lets you know where you are. On top of that as well, you also need to have a feel for the music and add in your own dynamics as well, in addition to what's written here. This piece does sound very nice, and if you can nail it, then it's going to be a great performance. Hopefully that was useful to you. I'll be putting up the rest of the pieces soon for grade 3. Check out the A pieces that I've already done and for the playlist for grade 3. Give a like and subscribe if you like what I did here. Put a comment down below if you want me to go over anything specific, or you want to share your own tips and tricks with your fellow viewers. I'll see you in the next video on Master of None. Bye!